Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. We've got the Bitcoin halving coming up tomorrow. Want to give you an update on the market and what I think is happening in the cycle right now. So I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and let's jump into it. All right, so we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up tomorrow. This is one of the biggest days of crypto. You know, for the last 4 years, we've been waiting for this halving event, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of impact it has on the market and our crypto portfolios in general, because, you know, it is kind of like one of those events that triggers the main bull run. But what happens when the halving actually triggers? So we'll take a look at historically what happens with the halving, how it affects the markets, how it affects Bitcoin, and all the crypto coins in general. You know, a lot of us are holding altcoins, and it can have a significant impact on altcoins for sure, because Bitcoin is the dominator, and whatever it does significantly impacts all the other coins. So let's jump into it here. All right, so the market cap, you know, we're down to 2.4 trillion, but, you know, compared to last year, we're up quite a bit still, but it you know, it could be some interesting things coming up ahead here. The price of Bitcoin currently, as I'm recording this, is about 63,000. Will we pump after the halving? Will we dump after the halving? I'm going to get into that in here in the video. But, you know, right now, some people are saying that the price of the Bitcoin is priced in with the halving already, and that we won't get a big dump. But, you know, when you look at the charts, things don't look that great. So we'll jump into that here. So if you go into the charts here, you look at Bitcoin, it's kind of like what they call the Bart Simpson pattern. And, you know, basically they're saying, you know, this is like Bart Simpson's hair, and then usually it jumps down to where his nose is, which is going to put us probably in this, you know, 52,500 level. If that were to happen, possibly a little bit lower. Some are saying we could bounce off 50,000 before we take off again. If this happens, it's going to be really painful for our portfolios. So, you know, it is what it is. If that happens, it happens. I think that is a likely scenario, but it's not definite for sure. But if you look at the past, we'll do that here and see what happens. But if we were to get down to this 52,500 level, you're going to see alts really get lower than where they're at now. It's going to be really painful for some people. I'm not worried about it, because in the long term, I know where we're headed. So, you know, it's just temporary pain in my opinion, and I would try to add more to my portfolio on certain coins that I have. If it drops down to where below the price that I purchased them, I would start to add more if I can, to get my dollar cost average down. So this article here talks about the Bitcoin halving impact on the price of Bitcoin. The circulation will be 21 million coins. It'll be distributed to network nodes when they make blocks, with the amount cut in half every 4 years. The first year, 10,500,000 coins. The next 4 years, 5.2 million coins. The next 4 years, 2.625 million coins. The next 4 years, 1.3 million coins, and so on. That's from Satoshi Nakamoto. Every 4 years, the Bitcoin network undergoes a significant change known as a halving, a process that reduces the mining rewards for new blocks by half. This mechanism is built into Bitcoin's protocol to control inflation and cap the total supply at 21 million coins. The halving events are therefore pivotal, highly anticipated occasions within the crypto community, often triggering speculation and market volatility. So they talk about the stock to flow ratio here and how this can have an effect on it. For Bitcoin, each halving event markedly increases this ratio, underscoring its growing scarcity. The ratio is widely considered a crucial indicator of Bitcoin's long-term evaluation. They talk about halving dips and surges here. And basically they're saying, you know, in the first halving in 2012, the mining reward dropped from 50 BTC to 25, and then it skyrocketed from $12 to $1,025 with a stunning 8,800% increase. This surge was coupled to a drop in Bitcoin's inflation rate from 25.75% to 12% in January 13, the second halving on July of 2016, exhibiting a similar pattern. The reward fell from 25 BTC to 12.5 BTC, and Bitcoin then experienced a 294% price increase from $625 to $2,560 over the following year. Simultaneously, its inflation rate fell from 8.7% to 4% in August of 2016. Most recently, the third halving, and this is the most recent one in 2020, you saw Bitcoin's mining reward drop from 6.2 BTC per block, and its price climbed from $8,700 to $55,847 by May 11th of 2021, a gain of 540%. Correspondingly, the inflation rate diminished from 3.7% to 1.8% by June of 2020. These events suggest a pattern where Bitcoin halvings generally lead to diminished returns, although the percentage gain following the third halving was greater than after the second. This was an anomaly influenced by the Federal Reserve's increase in the money supply, which effectively repriced Bitcoin. However, this trend reversed when the Fed began its new cycle of rate hikes in March 2022, suppressing asset prices. So they're saying here that, basically they think that it could do the opposite effect, with this one, and basically, it may not have as much of an effect as it typically does. So we'll have to see what happens here. So if you read through the article, it kind of gives you technical analysis on it and what they think could happen, but it shows here the different levels that we could drop down to. This is kind of what I showed you guys, this 52,200 level here, and then, down into the, 40 some thousand here. I don't think we'll get that low, but it is possible, so you do have to keep that in mind. If that were to happen, that would be extremely painful, but I think, this is saying that somewhere in the 50 to 51,000 range, it should descend down into that range, possibly, is what they're predicting it to do. And then after that, they're projecting a price target of $120,000 for Bitcoin towards, possibly by the, in 2024 yet, that could happen if it were to take off. The next level could be $120,000 if it were to break through that. Now that would be for 2024. That's not including what could happen in 2025. For 2025, I want to go to the rainbow chart here and show you what I think might happen. So we'll jump into the rainbow chart here. And this is the new rainbow chart. They've adjusted it a little bit for 2025. This is the new 2023 rainbow chart. And I set it for 2025 because that's when, this bull run is predictably to max out. So we'll have to see if that happens here. But, the old rainbow chart, we would be in the light blue here, and we were in the dark green. But now that they've adjusted this based on how Bitcoin's performing in the last cycle, this is probably more accurate. So we're up in the yellow zone here and just come back down in the light green, kind of like we did in the last bear cycle, and we came all the way down into this, almost like touched and bounced off this light blue line. If it were to come down, let's say, and touch off that light blue line here, you're talking, somewhere into that, if it just touched that light blue line, somewhere around 45,000 to, 48,000, somewhere in that range, if it were to touch this light blue level and take off again. So we'll have to see if that happens or not. But if you go to, 2025 here, let's go to, let's go to, October of 2025. If we were to get up into this orange zone, that would put Bitcoin, into if it were to get in the dark orange, about $200,000, somewhere between 182 and 230,000. But if it just got up into the light orange zone, you're talking $140,000 to $180,000 Bitcoin. That's kind of where I'm projecting will go, is kind of in this light orange zone, because they keep having to adjust this rainbow chart for, basically diminishing returns. The angle is going to get, changed based off of diminishing returns of this Bitcoin arc on the rainbow chart. So, we may only get up into the light orange zone here this time around, and that would put us at that $140,000 to $180,000 Bitcoin. We'll have to see what happens with that. But that's kind of what I'm predicting will happen. I think we're going to get a correction for the next few months here, possibly, and then we take off into a main bull run towards the end of this year. I think we start picking up around August, September, and then take off again from there. We'll have to see what happens, but it is possible after the halving we just take off to the moon, because we've never before reached a new all-time high before the halving, and this halving could be already priced in the market. We'll have to see what happens with that or not, but it's really hard to say if that's actually what's going to happen. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear, but my strategy for now is to just hold on to my coins, and if we do get a bigger dip, I'll try to add more to get my dollar cost average down, and just be patient and wait for that big Bitcoin halving. Don't forget to check out my free Telegram. The link is in the description below and the pinned comment as well. And don't forget to check out my Discord if you're interested in that. That is through Patreon. We've got a lot of fantastic members in both of those, and you know, they're always helping people out with finding excellent gems out there to invest in. And in my Discord, we get into like ICOs and seed round investments for different projects before they launch, so you can check that out. And that's only $14.99 a month for the Patreon membership for the Discord, and the Telegram is absolutely free. But don't forget to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, guys. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me.